Okay, how we doing, folks? Today is Saturday, May 21st, 2016. We're giving you the recap of Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors getting themselves back in the series with a very impressive victory, 99-84 over the Cleveland Cavaliers, handing the Cavaliers their first loss this postseason. We'll start with Cleveland. I didn't think Cleveland was necessarily terrible. Altogether, their shooting percentage was just under 36 at 35.9, 28 for 79, 14 for 41 from three-point land. Not great. That is 27 misses, but 34% you can certainly live with. Now, you would certainly take 34% off, a few less shots than that from behind the arc, but it wasn't terrible, but Toronto's defense finally came to play for the first time this series. That was the most important thing. Their defense was terrible game one and game two, and they were closing out on 3-point shooters and denying drives necessarily. They only sent Cleveland to the line 16 times, so that was good. LeBron James, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Kevin Love was really not good in this game. That was the main difference. 1 for 9, 1 for 4 from 3-point land, only 3 points, 4 rebounds. So that's certainly something that he's going to have to fix going forward, and I expect he would. Kyrie Irving, 22 points on 7 of 16 shooting. Really, no one shot well outside of Channing Frye. Or excuse me, Kyrie Irving was 13 points on 3 of 19 shooting. That was J.R. Smith, 22 points on 7 of 16 shooting. So you have Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love going a combined 4 for 28 between the two of them, and 2 for 11 from downtown. Certainly, you would expect Toronto to win, but give Toronto's defense credit in this game. It was very good. Corey Joseph was playing good defense on Kyrie Irving. You have Kyle Lowry certainly in contention for an all-defensive team playing defense as well, so they were able to do the job there. J.R. Smith, I thought, had an efficient game. He was 6 of 15 from downtown. Channing Frye was also good. There's really the only two guys who shot very well at all. A combined 11 of 21 between the two of them. LeBron James a minus 11, Kyrie Irving a minus 14. Now for the Raptors, DeMar DeRozan was very impressive in this game. 32 points, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Only attempted one 3-point shot, so he did all his damage basically inside the arc. 12 of 24 shooting, 50%. Kyle Lowry, very efficient, 7 of 13, 4 of 8 from 3-point land, 20 points, 6 rebounds. Bismack Biyombo has to be one of the biggest stories in this game. 7 points, 26 rebounds, as opposed to Tristan Thompson, who only had 8. Tristan Thompson just doesn't get out-rebounded like that, so hats off to Bismack Biyombo. DeMaury Carroll hit a few early 3-point shots, got him going, was 4 for 11, only 10 points, but certainly they'll need his consistency, and I thought he was playing much better defense on LeBron James in this game. And interesting thing that Toronto did, a lot of times when LeBron James went to post, they would put a bigger guy like Biyombo or Scola or Patrick Patterson on him and not leave DeMaury Carroll down there by himself. That was one thing we discussed in Game 2. I thought it was a defense that was really getting them beat. Patterson was very good off the bench, a plus 16 with 10 points, and Corey Joseph 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. That is, he was also playing very good defense. Corey Joseph is a guy who I think has been very impressive this entire postseason. Now, I discussed this. I don't think that this matchup was clearly the mismatch that people were having you believe from the start, and I think Toronto showed that tonight. They played very good defense, and DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry played very well. Now, granted, we discussed that Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love did not have their best games, but still, it's not like Toronto won by a point. They did win by 15 and held Cleveland to only 37 second half points and only 84 total for the game. So expect Cleveland to play better, shoot better, especially between Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. So Toronto, I would expect, is going to have their hands full in Game 4, but they can make this a series. They are not completely overmatched, and they are a team that can compete with the Cleveland Cavaliers. One thing is, though, that Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan have not shown any consistency in this playoffs. Every time I think they've had it together, they have really struggled then the following game or set of games after that. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens from here on out. Could this have just been, hey, they went back home, raucous crowd, first time ever a conference finals game was being played in Toronto, and they decided to give it their best effort, their quote-unquote last stand here? We'll see. I still expect Cleveland to win the series. I said it would be Cleveland in 6. I expected them to win 1 in Toronto. This is going as I thought it would be, 2-1. And then I expect Cleveland to win game 4 and then fall asleep in game 5 at home before closing it out in Toronto. But certainly the Raptors are not completely out of this series. They are not completely dominated by this team, and they showed that tonight, so hats off to them. All right, so tomorrow we will give you the recap of the Western Conference Finals Game 3 between Oklahoma City and Golden State. Stay tuned for that. Have a good night.